Welcome back to the Daily Morning Sports Feed on Reds Army, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some notable MLB news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. Caratini's 2-run single in 11th rallies Brewers over Dodgers. Andrus homer, Langeliers double help A's past Rangers 5-1. Led by Morton's 12 Ks, Braves win 8th straight. Caratini's 2-run single in 11th rallies Brewers over Dodgers. Victor Caratini hit a 2-run single off Dodgers closer Craig Kimbrel in the 11th inning, rallying the Milwaukee Brewers over Los Angeles 5-4 on Tuesday night. "I just tried to make contact," said Caratini, who was mobbed by his teammates after the hit. "Whether it's a fly ball or putting the ball in play, try to get at least one run in, and thankfully it worked." A sensational catch by Dodgers center fielder Chris Taylor in the 10th kept the game tied. Taylor homered in the 7th to make it 3-all. Batting with the bases loaded and 1 out against Kimbrel, 3-5, Caratini blooped a hit to right field that scored automatic runner Andrew McCutchen and Hunter Renfroe, who had reached on a bunt single. Renfroe crossed the plate just a few steps behind McCutchen, who had held up to see if the ball would be caught by right fielder Mookie Betts. "Probably gambling a little bit," Renfroe said. "I got a good read on it. I knew he wasn't playing back, so he wasn't going to catch it." The Brewers won despite getting just 5 hits off 7 pitchers. The teams have split the first 2 games of a 4-game set. The Dodgers have lost 2 of 3 since a 12-game winning streak. "When I go out there on the mound, I feel like I'm going to my job every time," said Kimbrel, who blew his 4th save. "I have the confidence. I'm throwing my pitches, but it's just not working out. It's going to change. It has to." Justin Turner's run-scoring single off Milwaukee reliever Brent Suter, 4-4, gave the Dodgers a 4-3 lead in the top of the 11th. In a back-and-forth matchup, the Brewers nearly won in the 10th. With 2 outs and 2 on, McCutchen hit a liner deep into the left center field gap that Taylor caught with a flying, backhanded grab. Reliever Alex Vesia stood behind the mound and yelled, "It's just one of those situations where you know that if you don't catch it the game's over," Taylor said. "I barely caught it. I didn't even know I caught it until I looked in my glove." The Brewers jumped on Dodgers rookie starter Ryan Pepiot in the first. Christian Yelich drew a leadoff walk and Willie Adames followed with his 23rd homer. Milwaukee starter Brandon Woodruff pitched 4 shutout innings before Joey Gallo tagged him for a leadoff homer in the 5th. It was the 3rd homer for Gallo, who was inserted in the lineup in place of struggling Cody Bellinger, since coming to the Dodgers earlier this month in a trade deadline deal with the New York Yankees. Betts followed 2 batters later with another solo homer to make it 2-all. Yelich hit a solo homer in the 5th, ending his 0-for-26 slump. It was his first home run since July 2 at Pittsburgh and first at home since May 5. "It felt good to have something positive for once," Yelich said. "It's been a while since I've done that." Taylor's solo home run in the 7th off Matt Bush pulled the Dodgers even again. Woodruff gave up 5 hits and 2 runs in 5 innings. He walked 2 and struck out 8. "They're a really, really good baseball team," Woodruff said. "That was a heck of a win. We needed that. Hopefully we can carry that momentum into tomorrow and the rest of this series." Pepiot, making his 6th start of the season, surrendered 3 hits and 3 runs in 4 2/3 innings. He walked 5 and had 6 strikeouts. Trainer's room. Dodgers. LHP Clayton Kershaw didn't make the trip to Milwaukee but has been throwing at his home in Texas, manager Dave Roberts said. Kershaw has been out since earlier this month with back soreness. Ellipsis. LHP Andrew Heaney, who sustained a left arm contusion after being struck by a comebacker that forced him to leave his last start in Kansas City on Saturday, threw a bullpen session on Tuesday and will make his next scheduled start on Thursday in the series finale, Roberts said. Brewers. RHP Adrian Hauser, right elbow, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs in a 28-pitch rehab outing with AAA Nashville on Tuesday. C. Omar Narvaez, left quadriceps, who began a rehab assignment with Nashville, went 2 for 4 as the DH. He is expected to be behind the plate for Nashville on Wednesday. Close calls. The Brewers recorded their 7th walk-off victory of the season and improved to 7-5 in extra innings. Milwaukee moved to 23-15 in one-run games. Central dominance. Despite the loss, the Dodgers have been dominant against the NL Central, going 7-0 versus Chicago, 7-0 versus Cincinnati, 2-1 versus St. Louis, 1-1 against Milwaukee and 1-5 versus last-place Pittsburgh. Up next, Dodgers. Tony Gonsolin, 14-1, 2.24 ERA, is tied for second in the major leagues in wins. He'll be making his first start versus the Brewers. Brewers. LHP Eric Lauer, 8-4, 3.64, has gone 6-0 with a 2.56 ERA in 9 career starts against the Dodgers. Lauer will make his 22nd start of the season. Andrus homer, Langeliers double help A's past Rangers 5-1. Shea Langeliers had no plans to give Elvis Andrus a hard time about overshadowing his big moment in front of the home folks. Both hits were special for Oakland's rookie and veteran. Langeliers doubled on the first pitch he saw in the big leagues. Andrus homered against his former team for the first time and the Athletics beat the Texas Rangers 5-1 on Tuesday night, ending a 9-game losing streak. The Rangers had a 3-game winning streak stopped a day after manager Chris Woodward was fired. Texas beat Oakland in Tony Beasley's debut as interim manager hours after Monday's move. Andrus, who spent his first 12 years in the majors with the Rangers before a trade to Oakland going into last season, connected on a 2-run shot in the 7th inning in his 31st game against Texas. Langeliers grew up watching Andrus at shortstop while playing for a Dallas-area high school. Leading off the second inning to cheers from family and friends in the sparse crowd of 15,260, the 24-year-old lined Kohei Arihara's pitch down the left field line and scored the second Oakland run. First at bat, you've got the jitters, you're excited, nervous, all that stuff, Langeliers said. I felt like the only way to get past that was if he gave me a good first pitch to hit, I was swinging at it. Andrus 8 homer of the season and 87th of his career. The first 76 were with the Rangers, put Oakland up 3-1 after the Rangers had the potential tying runs on base the previous 2 innings. It was pretty good, since last year I wanted to do that for sure, Andrus said. So it felt really good. Being able to put that game away, it was even better. Sean Murphy hit his longest home run of the season, a 454-foot solo shot in the 3rd. J.P. Sears pitched 5 scoreless innings in the former New York Yankees left-hander's first win with the A's. Oakland avoided a second 10-game losing streak this season, which hasn't happened since the A's were in Philadelphia in 1945. Langeliers, who went to college about 100 miles south of the home of the Rangers at Baylor, was called up from Triple-A Las Vegas. The last-place A's released veteran outfielder Stephen Piscotty. The 9th overall pick by Atlanta 3 years ago, Langeliers was acquired in the March trade that sent Matt Olson to the Braves. Debuting as the designated hitter with plans for him to be the backup catcher, Langeliers struck out his last 3 times up. That first pitch mattered much more, though. I think it's great, manager Mark Kotsay said. I think anybody that gets to the big leagues and they see one pitch, they should be swinging, in my opinion. I thought it was great. I loved the aggressiveness. Arihara, 0-1, allowed 6 hits the first time through the order in his first start for Texas since last September. The Japanese right-hander had spent the entire season with Triple-A Round Rock. Pitching 5 days after his 30th birthday, Arihara settled down and tied his career highs of 5 2/3 innings and 6 strikeouts while allowing 8 hits and 3 runs. I thought he threw the ball very well, Beasley said. I thought the first inning, he got the little base hits that just had eyes. He had some unfortunate things happen. Sears, 4-0, had allowed 5 walks in 31 1/3 innings all season with the Yankees and A's when he walked the bases loaded with 1 out in the 5th. Sears escaped when right fielder Seth Brown made a running catch in foul ground on Marcus Semion's fly ball, and Leody Taveras got caught in a rundown between 3rd and home. Roster shuffling. The Rangers designated of Elier Hernandez for assignment to make room for Arihara. Texas also recalled INF of Mark Mathias from Round Rock and optioned RHP Yeri Rodriguez to the AAA club. The Rangers signed C. Wilson Ramos to a minor league contract with plans to assign him to Round Rock. The A's called up 1B David McKinnon along with Langeliers. They are the 53rd and 54th players for the A's this season, matching the Oakland record reached twice previously, 2007, 2017. The A's also placed center fielder Ramon Laureano on the injured list with left side soreness. Trainer's room. A's All-Star RHP Paul Blackburn will miss the rest of the season with tendon damage in his right middle finger. A decision on surgery should come near the end of the season. Regardless, Blackburn is expected to be ready for spring training. Up next, Oakland RHP Adam Oyer, 1-5, 7.26 ERA, and Texas LHP Cole Ragans, 0-1, 4.82, are set for a matchup of rookies in the third game of the four-game series. Oyer is on his fourth stint with the A's. Ragans is set for his third big league start. Led by Morton's 12 Ks, Braves win 8th straight. Matt Olson's latest step toward another 30-homer season helped the Braves move back toward the top of the National League East standings. Charlie Morton's impressive start showed the defending champions might have what it takes to win a second straight World Series. Olson highlighted a 3-hit night with his 25th homer, and Morton matched a season-high 12 strikeouts as the Braves extended their winning streak to 8 games with a 5-0 win over the Mets on Tuesday night at Truist Park. The Braves have won the first 2 games of this 4-game set and moved within 3.5 games of the first-place Mets. But to exit this series having made up some ground in the NL East, Atlanta must win at least one of the final 2 games, during which the club will match up against Max Scherzer, Wednesday, and Jacob deGrom, Thursday. With Scherzer and deGrom, the Mets would pose a significant challenge to any club they face in the postseason. But it looks like the Braves will also take a couple of proven frontline starters into October. Max Fried has been a top Cy Young Award candidate all year, and Morton has posted a 2.61 ERA over his past 11 starts. Morton limited the Mets to just 3 hits over 6 2/3 scoreless innings. He used his curveball with 49.5% of his 97 pitches. That stands as the second highest percentage within any of his 314 starts. His approach helped him tally 12 strikeouts for just the 7th time in his career and 2nd time this season. And those are also the most outstanding morning news today. Thank you to everyone for listening and following redsarmy's daily news. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest sports news.